So starting at number 4, I've got LSU. LSU finished 10-4 last season, defended the great Alabama, won the SEC West, and played for a conference championship, all in Brian Kelly's first season with his new family. And after the loss to FSU in a great Week 1 game, I thought that this would be a mediocre LSU team. I didn't know how good Florida State was at that point. I wasn't expecting much from them. And while they weren't living up to the Tigers fans' expectations, I think that like overall expectations, I think that they did exceed the expectations for a year one coach in Brian Kelly. I do have LSU winning the West and losing to UGA in a much closer SEC championship game than it was last season. Hopefully for LSU fans, they are undefeated by then and can still punch a ticket to the college football playoff. But this LSU team can realistically beat anyone in the country. They have enough talent to do so, and I think that they're going to take another leap in year 2 against or under Brian Kelly. At number 3,
number 5, I've got LSU, and you got two good quarterbacks at LSU. You got Jaden Daniels and Nussmeier there. I think you're good with either guy. I think they've got different styles. Jaden Daniels, I felt like, was playing more last year because of the offensive line woes that LSU had. Nussmeier came in the SEC championship game, and UGA fans and everybody can say what they want to say, but that dude threw the ball all over the yard on him. You lose Butte at wide receiver. Culture-wise was probably a good thing. He was a very talented guy, but it was a bumpy road last year with him. And whereas he did have some big moments and was very talented, I feel like culturally may have weighed down the group some. But even with him leaving, you got Thomas, Lacey, Hilton, Neighbors. These are all really good pass catchers, and especially Malik Neighbors. I expect him to have a really, really good year. Offensive line, Miles Frazier, Garrett Dillinger, Will Campbell, Emory Jones, Charles Turner, and 5 freshmen and transfers that are ready to rotate are all going to be there this year on that offensive line. I think it'll be much more of a steady group this year. You go out and you get Logan Diggs from Notre Dame. He was their best running back last year, no doubt about it. He ran for 900 yards last year. Put him back behind that offensive line. He's going to need somebody to step up and help. They had other backs that weren't healthy for the spring, but I think they'll have a little bit of a platoon there to back him up, and it'll probably be a committee approach there at running back with a running back one that looks pretty good. So offensively, I think overall it's going to be good. So Matt House is going into his second year defensive coordinator. You lost Ojolari to the NFL. Ali Gay, Converse, Ward, all these guys are gone from the secondary. So that mass exodus kind of created an issue and a kink in the armor, I feel like, in the fact that LSU went really hard in the transfer portal for cornerback players, or defensive secondary players, I should say. You had one of them get hurt the other day, or excuse me, he didn't get hurt. He got in a fight, and it's unclear if he's on the team or not. So doesn't look like he's going to be back. That was a transfer from Texas A&M. You bring back your linebacker, Harold Perkins. You bring in Omar Spates from Oregon State to play inside linebacker, and he's going to start. So everything, defensive line, Mason Smith and Wingo should be back. So before they got injured last year, that was a good-looking unit, and they got injured early on. So other than the defensive secondary, I feel really good about this team. But that defensive secondary, I feel like, is going to keep them from getting where they want to go. And I think they end up going 11-1, and I think they go to the SEC championship and they end up losing and having an 11-2 year and not making the playoffs. But at the end of the regular season, I see them in that 5th spot.